Hello, welcome to American School of English Language, guys. Today in this video, we will talk about subordinated conjunction, its types, and how we use them in our writing. Guys, if you're struggling in your writing, how to make proper sentences, or if you're struggling in speaking, you can speak fluently, that you face problem to speak fluently, then I think subordinated conjunctions are the key. If you get a hold of subordinated conjunction, then it will become much easier for you to write proper sentences. So let's see what subordinated conjunctions are. But before we move on, please subscribe my channel so you could receive weekly videos about my channel. What subordinated conjunctions are, guys? Subordinated conjunctions are used to create complex sentences. That's what you need to remember. Where subordinated conjunctions are used, where subordinators are used, they are called complex sentences, containing one independent clause or main clause and one dependent or subordinate clause. The subordinated conjunction does two things. It introduces and subordinates mean control the dependent clause, telling the writer that it is less important than the independent clause, and explain what relation it has to the independent clause. Like, I went to the supermarket, we were out of milk. Guys, these are two independent clauses, right? They can stand their own. There's no relationship between them, right? But we can join them like by use with this subordinated conjunction, which would seem more natural. I went to the supermarket since far we out of milk. So now what happened is, since we were out of milk, now become an dependent clause because it depends on the independent clause. I went to the supermarket. I went to the supermarket. Independent clause now control the dependent clause. The subordinated conjunction since transform the second clause from independent clause into a dependent clause, it subordinates it. Since we were out of milk, can no longer stand alone but is connected to the independent clause. So let's guys see what are the subordinated conjunction functions. One of the jobs of subordinated conjunction is to establish the relationship between two clauses. Which conjunction we use depends on the nature of relationship. Below are some of the most common subordinated conjunction functions. We use them for cause, comparison, and concession. Concession means contrast. We use them for condition. We use them for place. We use them for reason. We use them for time. So what subordinator we use for cause? We use as, because, and since. We use as, just as, although, even though, whereas, and while for comparison and contrast. For condition, we use even if, as long as, in case, provided that, and providing. For place, we use where, wherever. For reason, we use in order, that, so that. For time, we use after, before, as soon as, once, until, while, and when. So let's study each of these functions individually. So let's talk about first cause. Guys, we use as, because, and since interchangeably mean we can use in place of each other to state the cause of something. For example, we won the game as we all played well. So we won the game because we all played well. So it's giving the cause that we won the game because we played very well. We won the game since we all played well. So as since because we all played well, we won the game. So in this case, dependent clause is the here first. When we start the sentence with the dependent clause, we will use the comma to separate with the independent clause. In these sentences we start the sentence with independent clause. So we don't need the comma here. But once we start the sentence with dependent clause, we will separate it with the comma. Each of the three examples express, sorry, it should be the express. No, expresses because each, so expresses the same causal relationship, although as is considered more formal in tone than because or since. So you need to remember that as is more formal than because or since. Let's see some more example, guys. I was not able to go to work as in because it was raining. So it's giving the reason cause, telling the cause why I did not go to the work because of raining. She could not attend the party as in because she was preparing for her stat exam. It's giving the cause that why she could not attend the party. She did not pass the exam as in because she did not study hard. So guys, in these classes, we start with the independent clause first, so we're going to use comma here. But here, as in because she did not study hard, we start the sentence with dependent clause. And we separate with the independent clause with a comma. She did, as in because she did not study hard, she did not pass the exam. So this was the dependent clause, and this is the independent clause. So we separate with them with the comma. Let's see the other function. Let's see comparison and contrast. Let's see comparison here, similarities. We can use as to state that two ideas are similar. We can also use just as to add extra emphasis to this statement. For example, it is pouring rain as I thought it would. It says that two ideas are similar. She got the first prize again as just as we expected. So just as is adding more emphasis that we knew that she's gonna get the first prize. He did not attend the conference as you told me he would not. So it says two ideas are similar. He did not get the job just as we thought he would not. That we knew already that he won't be able to get the job. So it's putting more emphasis. So let's see now. Contrast. So we use guy while and whereas to express a contrast. For example, my brother prepared well for the exam while I didn't make much of an effort. So my brother prepared well for the exam is independent clause. I didn't make much while I didn't make much of an effort is an dependent clause. So we're going to use comma here. So while it shows the contradiction here that my brother prepared well, while it shows the opposite of it. I did not make much of an effort. I cannot understand baseball, whereas I love watching cricket. It shows the contrast, right? This dependent clause is opposite of independent clause. While I was walking across the street, I saw him passing by me. So in this case, we start the sentence with the dependent clause. So we will separate with the independent clause with a comma. Okay guys, you need to remember that while and where can be used interchangeably, that we can use in place of each other. But whereas is considered more formal, so it's more formal. You should try to write whereas in place of while. We use although, though, and even though to say something occurred in spite of something. Though and although are interchangeable, while even though add extra emphasis. For example, I went to that restaurant though although I was told it was not very good. So this says that I went to the restaurant despite she told me that it was not good. Although he was the most qualified candidate, he did not get the job. So here is the dependent clause first. We will separate with the comma. Let's see the other example for condition, guys. We use this subordinating conjunction even if, as long as, in case, provided than providing, when referring to a hypothetical situation. If is the most common conjunction for hypothetical sentences. We use it when one action is required for another action to occur, like is used for conditional sentences when there is a condition for one action to occur. For example, we can go to shopping if you have a car. So there is a condition that if you have a car, then we will go to shopping. If he does not change his attitude, he will lose his job. So here is the dependent clause is the first. So we will use this comma here to separate it with the independent clause. I will buy you a pizza if you help me complete my project. So there's a condition here that I will buy you a pizza only if you help me complete my project. If you get a better apartment, you should buy the sophisticated furniture. So it's putting this condition here that you should buy the furniture only if you get a better apartment. If you work hard, you will succeed in life. This condition, you will succeed in life only if you work hard. As long as provided that, and providing all mean the same if, but they emphasize the requirement of the conditional action. So they all mean the if, but they give more emphasis to the sentence. We can use them interchangeably. We can use them in place of each other. So let's see. I will lend you my car as long as you promise to refill the gas. Like this means I will lend you my car if you refill the gas. So that's putting a condition here. I will you buy you a pizza as long as provided that you help me to complete my project. That means I will only buy you a pizza if you help me to complete the project. You should buy new furniture provided that you get a bigger apartment. So it's giving more emphasis. You should only buy TV. Oh, sorry, it should be furniture. You should only buy furniture if you get a bigger apartment. So let's move to the next one, guys. We use even if when an outcome will occur despite a hypothetical situation. Like that outcome will occur no matter what. For example, I will buy you a pizza even if you don't help me complete my project. That means I will buy you pizza anyway. He's going to pass his test even if he does not study. This means he will pass despite not studying. The next one, even if you have a $1 million, it does not mean you will be happy. So that's mean being rich does not guarantee happiness. So that's how we use even if. So let's move to the next one, guys. Okay, we use in case to suggest a precaution against a hypothetical possibility. For example, I am bringing an umbrella in case it starts raining. Like I am worried it might rain, so I'm bringing an umbrella. That's what it means, right? It's a precaution that I'm bringing an umbrella in case it starts raining. She put her phone in silent in case it rang during the class. It means she was worried her phone would ring in the middle of the class, so she silenced it. So that's how we use in case to suggest a precaution. Let's move to the next one now. Place. Guy, when the independent class is related to a place, we use when and whenever, but they are not interchangeable, that we cannot use in place of each other. For most situations, we use where as in, like, for example, he lives where it is always sunny. So that shows place. Can we go where it is little quieter? We use whenever to emphasize that we mean any and every place rather than a specific location. So wherever is used for a any or every place. For example, I want to go every wherever it is pleasant. So this means any place. He eats food wherever he goes. This means anywhere. Wherever he goes, he likes to eat fast food. That means not a specific location, but it means any or every place. So let's use what we use for reason. For reason, we use the subordinator in order that, so that, and so to give a reason. They are interchangeable in meaning but different in formality. Let's see them. Our boss asked us to detail notes in order that nothing would be forgotten. It's more formal in order that. Our boss asked us to take detailed notes so that nothing could be forgotten. It's neutral. Our boss asked us to take detailed notes so nothing would be forgotten. It's less formal. So in order that is more formal. So try to write in order that for reason. Let's see the other one, guys. Time. Previously. So what we use for previously in time? To state that the action of the independent class occurred first, we use before. For example, I went to shopping before I came home. It means I went shopping first. I eat breakfast before I go to work. It means I eat breakfast first. She brushes her teeth before she goes to bed. It means she brushes her teeth first. They completed their assignment before they left for vacation. This means they completed their project first. Before she left, she bought gifts for everyone. Before it rained, the sky becomes overcast. The sky became overcast first. So that means we use before for previously. Let's see what we use for concurrently. Concurrently, when two even action occur at the same time, we call it concurrently. There are several coordinated conjunctions we can use, but each has a slightly different meaning. If we're not adding any particular emphasis, we use when. For example, I was sleeping when the phone rang. So it means two actions were happening at the same time. I was sleeping and phone was ringing. I saw my brother when he was out with his friends. I can always I am always very careful when I drive in highway. So this means when I'm driving, I'm very careful. So it's two action happening at the same time. However, to emphasize that two action occur or will occur at exactly the same time in rapid succession, we use once or as soon as. Like, please clean your room once you get home. I will call the guest once the dinner is ready. I fall asleep once I get in bed home. So that's mean when the action occur exactly the same time and in rapid succession, like with very small interval. Like call me back as soon as you can. I will tell you the truth as soon as I find out. Please email me as you get the time. As soon as she heard the news, she started crying. So this means it happened. She started crying just before after he heard the news. When the guest arrived, we started eating. So we start eating soon after the guest arrived. So what means subsequently? Subsequently mean when the action of the independent clause happens second in a series of action we use after. Like I went shopping after I finished work. This means I went shopping after. We left the office after we finish all of our work. I will call you after our arrive. So this means I will call you on after I arrive. After it rained, the game was cancelled. After they play the soccer, they usually need something to eat. We went for a walk after dinner. So that means subsequently. Up to a certain time. So what we use for up to a certain time to state that one action starts when other begins, we use until. For example, he ran track until he moved here. This means he stopped running track when he moved here. You can borrow my jacket until I need it. You must stop using my jacket when I need it. That's what I mean. When I need it, you can stop using my jacket. He worked in accounting department until he moved to finance department. This means he started working in accounting department when he moved to finance department. You should work hard until you achieve your dream. That you should stop working after you achieve your dream. That's what it means up to a certain time. So what's the next now, guys? At or certain time. Finally, we use whenever to state that the time does not matter or the two actions always happen together. For example, call me whenever you get home. She cries whenever she sees a sad movie. So it's happening same time. He feels depressed whenever it is cold and dark. The school gets closed whenever it snows. Whenever someone walk by our house, our dog barks. So this means to happening the same time. That was the guys today. Guys, if you like my video, please share it and give me a like. Thank you very much.